Val is already here in the studio with me talking about leadership culture in business organization. Val, good to have you on the show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ade. It's always a pleasure to be here.
So, straight to the point.
Yeah.
When we talk about leadership culture in business organization or for business growth or business development, what does it entail?
Okay, let me take us back to Social Studies 101, where we are taught culture. We are taught that culture is how we behave, the people's way of life. Culture in business is simply the way things are done, operational procedures. So leadership culture in any business environment is simply how things are done, how things are carried out. Mode of operation, to put it very simply.
Right, mode of operation.
Yeah.
But there is one aspect of leadership in organization that many always find difficult. I was supposed to take this particular focus maybe last before our discussion, but it prompted me that we need to take it first.
Yeah.
Leadership succession in organization.
Yes.
Why is it that most leaders in organization, they find it difficult to always have this succession plan?
Well, we go right back to the foundation. Why did you even start the business? Many businesses started as a result of survival, to be able to feed body and soul, to put food on the table. And sometimes these business leaders do not see beyond their stomach and see beyond their immediate environment, beyond their families. So once they are able to cater for themselves and their immediate family, that's the end. But any business that will stand the test of time must have a succession plan. And that's why it's important to invest critically in talent development, right? To have talent development pipeline such that when you're leaving, there is somebody who is capable enough to take over that particular position. Let me give you a practical example of what happened with Access Bank. When the late Wigwe died, Herbert Wigwe, his soul rest in peace, 2 weeks later, a new CEO emerged because there is always a succession plan in those established, structured financial institutions. So business owners must take cue from those kind of businesses to be able to, have succession plans. Yeah.
Interesting. But there's something you said which is quite instructive.
Yeah.
Investing in talent.
Yes.
But most leaders will always say it's huge funding challenge when it comes to investing in talent. But first, let's ask ourselves, how do we identify the talent to be invested on first?
Oh, I mean, how do you identify talent? You identify talent by identifying talent, by spotting the potential in people. Definitely people express whether it's their gifts or their talent in the work environment. You know that this person is very good in attending to customers. She smiles or he smiles very well. That's a talent there that can be harnessed. So you can now further train the person on customer service relationship or exceptional customer delivery, right? So the leader must be able to develop eagle eye to see the gifts that exist within the team and then send them for leadership trainings. Yes, it will cost you, but it will drive performance and profitability in the end.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, when it comes to the funding for those investing, is there do we have any mark point amount to be spent for those discover talent?
There could be a budget, but there shouldn't be a cap to developing the talent within an organization, right? It's like saying, oh, I'm not going to pay my child's school fees, it's too much. You are looking at what that child will turn out to become in the future, not how much you're spending. So you are investing in something that will create returns for you later in the future, right? So that's how leaders are supposed to see talent development. As you are investing in their development, getting consultants to come and train. Yes, it's capital intensive, but the output should be the focus. I'm investing in these people because I'm sure that their output is going to outweigh whatever costs that will be incurred. Imagine when you don't train your staff. Imagine one mistake that could cripple the reputation you've built over time. You see, so when you look at those things, it now prompts you to invest in them.
Interesting. Well, leadership innovation is also being said to be one of the novel, things that's happening around leadership system now. What do you make of leadership innovation? Before you answer the question, we never talk about leadership ideas, a leadership system, but this innovation thing, is it coming from the aspect of the tech Gen Z aspect? But take me through this.
Thank you very much. So innovation is simply doing things another way, doing things that are not necessarily new, but doing things differently. That's what innovation is about. So leadership innovation, it simply means adapting to current trends. It mustn't be tech, right? It could be, you know, the behavior of people. Like how do people behave, and how can we adapt to those behavior to be able to meet them at the point of their needs, right? So for within businesses, I think leaders should now pay attention to ideas, new ideas that are being brought in by the talents within the team. Encourage new ideas, reward ingenuity, reward performance, as the case may be, and that can boost the morale of the team members to always think of new ideas, and that can encourage them to continually share what can elevate that organization.
Does it suggest leadership incentive also in the system?
Of course. I've always spoken about this across various platforms. What is repeated is recognized. What is recognized is repeated. You know, so when I see something that is good and I reward it, you're going to likely repeat it. And other people will take a cue from what you've rewarded. I gave an example the other time I came here about Chicken Republic.
Exactly.
I walked into a Chicken Republic. I saw on the reception a frame hung with the title Staff of the Week, you know, with the picture of the person on that frame, and many more people will want their pictures to be on that frame, and that can boost the morale of the workers. I want to be on the frame. So that can be a way of incentivizing the performance of the members of the team. It could be bonuses, it could be increase in salaries, it could be vacation.
I think many of them will be interested in increase in salary.
A lot being interested in increase in salary, but think about it, it mustn't be bank breaking.
Exactly.
But think of ways you can encourage your team. Send them out for trainings, you know, let them go for events, let them be interested in their personal development.
But many of those aspects, we talk about workers retreat, and most times when we call for a workers retreat, what we see there is a workers dance, they talk, they do talk and all that. But for you, when we really call for workers retreat, what does it really entail? Because I want us to break away from the norms. And workers retreat, they eat, they drink, they jump up. What does workers retreat?
Well,
really
it should reflect the capacities of the team versus the market demand. So it's in that retreat, you're all by yourself. Now everybody is you know, together with the team. You are able to identify the strengths of each member of that team and then match it to the market demand. So it's a time to think critically, to analyze what the market trend says, and then match it with the capacities of the people. And if there's a gap, train them. You know, that's what retreat should be about. It should be about SWOT analysis, analyzing the strengths, weaknesses, the threats, and the opportunities that exist within the team. Apart from the gyration, the drinking, the merriment, those things are also part of it. It's good, but you know, we should critically look into the gaps that exist and how we can, you know, make our work to be better.
Exactly. Before I let you go, one quick one on the aspect of Nigerian youth. Let's first take it from the contextualized everyday Nigerian. The mama pot that is selling on the highway, or the woman that is selling on the corner of the street. I know as you are coming to ADB and you saw at the junction here and there. When we now talk about leadership for this kind of small business, what would you advise them to take up when it comes to all those aspects of it?
Mr. D, this is a very beautiful question. I love it. You know why? Because when we talk about leadership, there's something that comes to the mind of an average Nigerian, right? It's those on suits like you and I, those who speak Queen's English, those who are in government positions, CEOs. No, leadership is simply the ability to take responsibility for yourself. Your habits, your actions, your character, it starts with self. Leadership is inside out. If you're not able to lead you won't be able to lead other people.
So when they say literally Oga,
yes,
that's what it means.
Yes, right. So the people who have informal businesses, the roadside, you know, sellers, they want to look inward to say, okay, how can this business be better? That's a leadership attribute. Strategic foresighting, vision. How can this mama put become a restaurant? How can it serve 50 people, 100 people, as the case may be? You don't need a special title to be able to express leadership skill.
I'm hearing that from you. You don't need a special title. But finally, for the youth who are aspiring to be leaders of tomorrow, what do you have to tell them?
Well, youth, you are leaders of today. That's first of all, let's correct that. You're leaders of today. So leadership starts from today.
Exactly.
My advice is you don't need like I said before, you don't need a special position or title to express your leadership. Once you are able to identify your potential, maximize your potential, and deploy your potential, you will be seen. Stop fighting with, you know, grappling around with corrupt politicians and all of that. Youth is not just a number. We are strategic partners in the development of this country.
Exactly.
You must have self-worth. You must have self-respect and dignity. Yeah, because you make up 60% of this country's population.
Exactly.
You are a big deal, right?
I take
so
that
pay
from
attention
you.
to yourself.
For all the Nigerian youth,
Yeah.
you are a big deal. You are in
Yeah.
a partnership in Nigerian development. That's coming from VAR. Nice having you on the
Thank
show.
you so much.
Great, interesting talking
I
to you
appreciate
today.
you.
Thank you so much. I've been
All
speaking
right.
with Val Okafor, happen to be the